guys are enjoying today's video right up until now. However, there's so much more to show you. Now I'm going to be running through what the spec of the system is, going through a couple of the products and where everything's placed on the vehicle on this particular upgrade, and then later on I'll be sitting in the car so you guys can enjoy actually listening to it. Obviously, with the Up GTI being a great fun little car, it is really important that obviously with it being little, you need to retain some space. So check this out. So on this new shape GTI, this is a brand new shape, you've got the factory floor that sits at this top tier level, but you're also able to drop it down to a base level to give you even more room. This car, I mean, you wouldn't actually believe it, but this car has a 10-inch active sub in the boot, but literally my hand is going all the way down pretty much into that boot area. The floor is on that bottom level, and even with this completely removed, you've got a little bit of carpet here. Even when I lift that up, and then that is where the sub is, right into the actual spare wheel well. So really, really impressive that our team managed to get that right in there. Plus, obviously you can have that now at different levels, whether you want that at the higher level or at the lower level, it really doesn't matter. You have the option for both. You've not lost any space whatsoever. So on this particular vehicle, this car had a sub in it originally. That is completely gone. We've now got that 10-inch active sub into that location, which performs incredibly well, which later on in the video, you will hear exactly how good that sounds. So that is the boot. Basically, you've got a 10-inch active sub, and we've got a controller in the front, which I'll show you. So that's there. We've also obviously soundproofed underneath that area. Moving over to the rear doors. So rear doors, we're using an Audison Prima coaxial speaker. What that means is basically the tweeter is built into the actual mid-bass driver itself. So the stock location is down here, so we're using that stock location for that OEM look. Like in the boot, completely hidden, same in those rear doors and same in the front doors as well. So these are the Prima 6.5-inch coaxial rears, again soundproofed on the back of here, the central layer, as well as the back of the door card. I mean, just hear how solid that is. Completely solid. This is a non-soundproof panel. So very, very different there, nice and solid. Over to the front of the vehicle. So what have we got here? We have a tweeter which sits on the A-pillar. We've also got a 6.5-inch mid-bass in the bottom of the door. This is using the Audison Prima range, but this is the P version, the higher performance versions, which basically perform a little bit better. For the money difference is well worth doing. We always try to put them in. It's 20-30 quid more than the standard Primas, and well worth having. Just gives you that extra bit of oomph from sound from those mid-basses and those tweeters. Plus later on, if you want to amp it, you can do. There is no amplifier on this, so all this is running from the stock radio. It's got Bluetooth, it's got the functionality our client wanted, so that is absolutely fine to be using currently. Tweeters, stock location, Prima 6.5Ps in stock location as well. Then moving over to the control panel. Client did ask also for us to add a little socket in here to have USB-C charging, as well as the sub remote down here as well. So it's all in one place, easy to use. And this sub remote's really nice. You can literally dial it backwards and forwards as you want with ease. It's an easy, accessible place to access and just turn up the bass whenever you want it. So overall, a stock look system on this gorgeous Up GTI. And bear in mind, guys, this was brand spanking new. So the car literally, and the client picked up the car from a local dealership and drove it straight here. His only journey was from that dealership straight to Cambridge Car Audio to have our sound treatment, get the car sounding absolutely mega, and now he's going to be ready to hit the road and enjoy some great songs and great music in his Up GTI. But now let's jump inside the car, have a listen to how it sounds. You've had that run through of the system already now, so let's sit back, relax. This is the time where you need to grab your headphones, guys, because it's very important of how this is actually reproduced when you listen to it. If you just listen to it on phone, it ain't gonna cut it. So let's have a listen to a couple of tracks I'm gonna play you, and you can hear how it sounds. So we're still under half volume right now. So much better than before. Cause you said it to the right person and they needed the compliment. But isn't it sickening? You can say you're in love
you fall. Life's funny like that. You lose one thing, you explain. I'll say it all again. You don't have to show them anything.
So the depth isn't too bad for a little car.
I know it's so frustrating.
It doesn't sound very controlled, but it's got a little bit of depth. I think the big thing is there's no clarity whatsoever. It's very, very muffled at that top end.
You could say anything,
So much better than before.
Cause you said it to the right person and they needed the compliment. But isn't it sickening? You can say you're in love with them, but it won't.
And yeah, thoughts on that system. It just, from when it came in to where we are now, just still night and day. I mean, I always say whenever you add an amplifier, you get that night and day difference. However, these Up GTIs, when we last did one of these Up GTIs, it was actually a really stomping system. Like, having an amplifier in one of these cars, these are really, really good sounding cars when they're done. Don't know why, I don't know what it is about it, but they do. They just absolutely rock when they're done. I mean, the 10-inch sub adding into this vehicle, getting rid of that awful one before, just a world of difference in terms of bass, but also just that front end, it just sounds a lot more solid, and that's down to the soundproofing as well. But yeah, I'm over the moon with the finished results, and I'm sure our client will be as well. So thank you once again for watching today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed another one of our upgrades on today's video on the Up GTI. So thank you again for watching. See you on the next one.